નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી.
Hello students, how are you? Today we will discuss oxidation and reduction. So dear students, the last video we have discussed about displacement and double displacement reaction, and this is the last reaction we are learning. And here you see the activity is given. Just I will read the activities. Here what you have to do? You have to take a copper. So heat the China dish. Take copper powder in the China dish, like this China dish will be there. See, take China dish, okay, like this vessel, so like this. And take copper powder here. Okay, take a copper powder. You know that copper powder is, this one is brown in color. Okay, this brown in color. Okay, then when you heat this, so heat with the surface of the copper powder becomes coated with black copper oxide. So here, when you added this oxygen, so when you heated this one, so means with oxygen we are heated, so this copper oxide will be forming, Cu. So this oxide this is brown in color. When you heated this, here you get black color will get. See, look here now. The surface of the copper powder becomes coated with black copper oxide. This becomes black copper oxide after heating. So the question is asked here, why has this black substance formed? So this is because here oxygen is added. Oxygen is added to the copper. See, oxygen is added to the copper, and you will get copper oxide is formed. So that is why it becomes black in color. So here you have seen that here copper addition of oxygen. Oxygen is added to the copper. So this is why oxidation as reaction takes place. See what happens? This copper is added oxygen. So that is why oxidation reaction has taken place. Okay. And one more reaction you see here. Second reaction. If hydrogen gas is passed to this copper oxide, when hydrogen gas is passed to this, you will get copper. Again you will get copper. See, if hydrogen gas is passed over the heated copper oxide, the black coating on the surface turns and brown colors. So what will happen? Here oxygen is removed. So when hydrogen is passed here, so it becomes reduced. So oxygen is removed. So we are saying reduction has taken place. Copper oxide is reduced. So this is reduction. So that is why, dear students, if a substance gains oxygen during the reaction, so this is called as a oxidized. And as well, if a substance loses oxygen, see here copper oxide, oxygen is loose. So that is, means loses this is called as reduction. Okay. So the reaction in which oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously, that is called as a redox reaction. See, both redox, suppose in any reaction, both will take place. Oxidation as well as reduction takes place, and such a reaction is called as redox reaction. For example, look here now. So this reaction, copper oxide plus hydrogen, copper and as well as water. So here you see the oxygen is removed from the copper oxide. Oxygen is removed, so copper. So here reduction. And in this addition of oxygen, hydrogen added with oxygen. So that's why it is oxidation. So this complete reaction is called as redox reaction. Okay. So during this reaction, copper's second is given, that valence is 2 here. Oxidation is losing oxygen and is reduced. The hydrogen is gaining oxygen and is being oxidized. So in other words, one reactant gets oxidized while the other gets reduced. One gets oxidized and other gets reduced. Such a reaction is called as redox reaction. Okay, got the idea? So in the similar way here also you see, this is one more example. Here oxygen is removed. So here reduction and here addition of oxygen. So this is why oxidation. So the reaction takes place, both the reaction has taken place here. So this process is called as redox reaction. So oxygen as well as reduction both takes place in a single reaction. So this is an oxidation and redox reaction, reduction reaction. Now next one is, so remember only the oxidation or addition of oxygen. So oxidation, when you are saying, you have to remember like this, oxidation is, you are saying oxidation, addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen. And reduction means the opposite of this. So opposite of this means loss of oxygen and addition of hydrogen. Then also we are saying the oxidation, which one? Redox reaction or oxidation and redox reduction reaction. Now we will discuss about the next heading, the corrosion. So what is corrosion? You know that corrosion means corrosion. You know that whenever iron articles is kept outside, you know that whenever the iron articles contact with the air or moisture, so that becomes rusted. So that you are saying rusting of iron. What you are saying? Rusting of iron. Here the surface will changes to brown in color. So the definition is like this: when a metal is attacked by a substance around such as moisture or attacked by moisture or acid or air, then it is said to be corrode, and the process is called as corrosion. So this is an example, this is a definition of the corrosion. So example, rusting of iron, green black coating of silver. Silver, you know that silver, say rusting of iron is an example. Rusting of iron, and silver changes into black color. Okay. Then as well as copper vessel changes into green color. So these are all examples of corrosion. See, silver articles will be changes into black color, and green coated copper vessels changes into green color. So these are all the example of the corrosion. And how it can be prevented? By painting, by oiling, and by greasing, or you can say greasing method. These are oil will be added, and as well as electroplating. So like this way you can reduce the corrosion. And next heading is will be here. Next one is rancidity. What is you mean by rancidity? So next heading, rancidity. So rancidity means what? So you know that whenever food or fats and oils are oxidized. So you know that whenever food is reacts with, or when the food is contains fats and oils get oxidized, they become rancid, they become spoiled, and their smell or taste is changing. So this is called as or the process is called as rancidity, we are saying. Or you can say the process of oxidation of fats and oils, which causes a change in the taste and smell of the food, that is called as a rancidity. So nothing but only the foods gets tasted. So whenever oily or fats food will be changes, rancid becomes rancid, or their taste and smell will be changing. This is called as a rancidity. And here, how it can be prevented? So it can be prevented by adding the antioxidants. Antioxidants we have to add. And one more possibility is keeping the food in the airtight containers, so that you can reduce it, the oxidation. And another one is, you know that chips of manufacturing chips, bags of chips, that is added with oxygen, nitrogen. So these are the possible ways to prevent the rancidity. Okay, got the idea? So these are the ways of preventing the rancidity. Okay, example of rancidity was. So example will be when you kept the fats and oily foods, change in the taste or smell of the food left for longer time. So this is the example of the rancidity. So like this way, we have completed the oxidation and reduction, and as well as rancidity, and as well as corrosion. So corrosion means nothing but whenever any articles, iron articles or a metal, you can say the example, metal you can say, attacked by the moisture and as well as acid, their surface will becomes corrode and the process is called as corrosion. Okay, example you can say rusting of iron and you can use the silver, black coating of silver, green coating of copper. So these are the examples of corrosion. And the preventing will be by oiling, by painting, by greasing, by applying the grease, and as well as electroplating method. So these are all you will learn in the third chapter in the detail. So these are the ways you can prevent the corrosion. Okay. And rancidity means, okay, just I will revise this. Whenever any fats or oily foods get oxidized, say fats and oils are oxidized, they become rancid, they're spoiling by turning their smell and taste will be changing. So this process is called as rancidity, or you can say like this, the process of oxidation of fats and oils which causes a change in the taste and smell. So that is called as a rancidity. Okay, example of any change in the taste and smell of the food that contains what fats and oils, left for the longer time. This is example. And prevention will be adding antioxidants and then food packing by airtight containers. And they know that chips manufacturers adding nitrogen. So these are the ways of preventing the rancidities. Okay, got the idea, students? So we have completed this lesson, and in the next video, I think we will discuss about the exercise and in-text questions. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you for joining us.